T-shirt. Alright people, in today's video we have another edition of going to Asda and telling you guys what I'm going to get. Today the focus is on late night snacks that you can have. First off, let me just say, you can have food at any time of the day, but we all know there are types or typical things that most people have at night. And I'm going to go through some of the things you can have that's low calorie. And as always people, I'm going to obviously be doing my own shopping throughout this. Like, I don't just come to Asda randomly to film these videos. I do my own shopping behind the scenes, so I will show you some snippets in the B-roll, but the main focus is going to be on the snacks that you can potentially have. They're going to be low calorie and somewhat filling and satisfying and stop you from craving like a madman at night. Because trust me man, I've done that many times myself, and these things I'm going to pick are things that I personally enjoy thoroughly. So yeah, stay tuned. Alright people, one of the ones that's really important, I know some of you are going to crucify me because you hate when I do this, but warm cereal, specifically warm. One, this is perfectly good at night, trust me, I do it all the time, and it can be very, very filling. Preferably something that's not too high calories, so around 120 calories per serving, which is roughly around 30 to 45 grams. Trust me, it's really filling. If you have it warm, it naturally makes your body feel more full. These are three of the options I would recommend, which is Rice Krispies, Cheerios, or Blueberry Wheats. The puffed up ones tend to be a bit more filling. These are really good options. For example, the Rice Krispies and Cheerios are virtually the same amount of calories. For 30 gram servings, 113 calories for that, and 116 calories for this. Also, you have to factor in what milk you have. I personally have all my cereal with almond milk, and if you have almond milk, obviously per 100 milliliters is only 13 calories if you get the one that's unsweetened. So that is something I'd recommend. That is the first option. The second version of cereal, which is what I have. So next up, this is what I personally do. All brand, super high fiber, very, very filling as well. I will fill majority of the bowl with this, and then if I want extra flavor, I'll top it off with things like Cheerios or the Blueberry Wheats to give it more of a sweeter taste. And one key thing to note is, even though I say warm cereal makes you feel more full, the calories still remain the same whether it's cold or if it's warm. I just find that when I have it warm, it kind of makes me feel like I'm more full. For that reason, later on in the day, I don't go and binge and eat something else. Whereas if I had it cold, personally, the odd times I've done this, even though I hate cold cereal, I'll still go eat something else later. It doesn't really fill my appetite that much. It's like a nice little sweet treat, and then I feel like eating something else. So yeah man, let me know down below if you ever had warm cereal, if you're a fan of it, if you're not a fan of it, let me know down below. Every time I do it, a lot of you say, TJ, why do you do this? But trust me, it tastes good. So don't knock it till you try it. But yeah man, don't knock it till you try it. Ah, they missed the Katy Perry part. You're hot, then you're cold, you're yes, then you're no, you're in, then you're out. Anyways, let's carry on with the next thing on the list, which is we have French toast. To all the Greg Doucette fans, this is the, I'm joking, this is the crappy option. This French toast is literally just a cracker. There's no egg, there's nothing with it. This has got to be the driest piece of French toast on the planet. It's a crime to even be called that. Anyway, what the real thing is going to be something that will still like resolve those who have like the crunchy kind of binges at night. They need something like biscuits or something that's kind of crunches when you watch movies and stuff like that. And I'm going to go with rice cakes, but there are various versions of rice cakes to start with. So obviously you have the completely lightly rotted, this kid, she's beat him, you know. There's a lightly salted rice cake, which is 30 calories per slice. There's the next one up, which is salty and vinegar, which is 33 calories. And then there is the chocolate chip one, which is 62 calories. So as you can see, there's a big jump, and the whole point is we want to still be able to kind of have that motion of still eating quite a bit of them without stacking up too many calories. So if you go for the chocolate one, obviously after you've had about 4, even though they are quite big, because they taste really sweet and chocolatey, you're going to probably have more than 4. When I used to buy these, I used to probably have at least half the packet each time, which kind of goes away from it even being a low calorie snack at that point, because you are eating quite a lot. It is lower than if you opted for some other like junk like a Haribo or something, but it's still more calories than you need to have. So I wouldn't personally recommend having this as the go-to, but they are still nice to have if you have restraint, which I don't have. So we're gonna put that one back. Then we're gonna go to the complete opposite end, which is the lightly salty one. I'm also not gonna recommend this one because this one is so bland, it tastes like crap. Like, it's literally only tastes good if you add peanut butter to it, and if you do that, it literally becomes a similar amount of calories to the actual chocolate one. So I wouldn't recommend having this one either because it's just not enjoyable to have on its own. It just tastes really, really bland. So I would personally go for the salt and vinegar one, 33 calories, and try not to have too many, but even if you did, this is not that bad. Like, there's probably around 10 in the whole packet, so basically that'd be 300 calories if you ate the whole thing, which realistically you shouldn't even need to even do that. I personally am satisfied after I have about maybe 6 of these, because the salt and vinegar makes your mouth kind of tangy and you don't tend to overeat more than you need to. So this is probably my go-to. So if you have more of a sweet kind of tooth and you like the caramel, I would go with, or caramel for my Americans, I'd go with these ones with 43 calories. If you're cool with salt and vinegar, go with this one, or get them both and have them back and forth, so you got the sweet and salty taste, like a slightly different alternative take to having sweet and salt popcorn. So be sure to try it out and let me know what you think. For the next one on the list, I'm not going to go into too much detail on it, purely because in my previous video of this I already kind of mentioned having popcorn as a low calorie snack, but obviously nighttime goes without saying. Netflix and chill is not the same if you ain't got popcorn or some sort of ice cream, which we're going to touch on later. So the options that I would personally go for, if you go for store-bought popcorn, the brands I like is Popcorn and the salty version of popcorn as well. So things like popcorn, the rice cakes, kind of helps that kind of late night biscuit or crisp kind of cravings you get. Also, there's other brands such as Pop Chips, which is also going to be a nice alternative for those of you like Doritos that eat those by the pound. If you look at the calories of Doritos, they're pretty damn high. So you should always try and look for alternatives and find if you enjoy them. If you hate them, then it's kind of defeats the purpose. But if you find some flavors that you thoroughly enjoy and it's a good swap for swap, that is obviously the smart option to do, because even if you do it a lot more than you intended to, it's probably going to be less calories. If you look at the bag of Doritos, it's a lot of calories, trust me. They taste delicious, but if you can find something else that even tastes somewhat close, may not be exactly the same, but at least good enough to like satisfy you, that is how you make good improvements to your actual diet and lifestyle as a whole, and actually see some results, start losing fat, getting more in shape. Well, next up on the list is hot chocolate, and some of you are going to say, oh my god, that can't be true, because Greg Doucette says no. Hot chocolate definitely is one of them, but you have to get the right one. If you go for like the hot chocolate you get at Costa or Starbucks, you've already ran down the wrong path. But basically, if you go for like a low calorie hot chocolate that still tastes good, this is one I'd recommend. 40 calories per serving, and options taste good, guys. My mom had this one, I tried it at her house, and I thoroughly hated it. It was the Cadbury's hot chocolate one. I didn't like the taste of it. It didn't taste like hot chocolate. It just, no, so I wouldn't go with that one. This one tastes good, and I have it with almond milk. It tastes better with whole milk, I will admit, and to be honest, the amount you put in it, because I mix it with hot water, you could actually still use whole milk and it still be pretty low calorie, and look around maybe the 60 calories for a cup. But the big thing about it is that it can be very satisfying because it's warm. Once again, warm drinks, similar to kind of like when people have soup and stuff, it just naturally gives you warm belly vibes. That's what I call it. Warm belly vibes makes you naturally feel more full, so you don't go back and have more stuff. And the good thing about it, there are loads of different flavors as well. You can have mint with chocolate, even though I think that's a sin. I don't believe mint should ever be run with chocolate. I cannot stand mint chocolate anything, so I'm going to throw this away. But some of you that like that horribleness, there's one for you guys. There's also salted caramel with chocolate. I haven't actually tried this, and I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it and try it and let you guys know in another video. But this is the one that I can actually co-sign. This with almond milk or whole milk if you want to make it taste more thick and filling. The main thing about it that's great is that if you feel more satisfied and naturally kind of warm belly vibes and more full, you won't eat anything later on in the day. Obviously, this is if you have it at night. If you have it at 4 p.m, it's not a good appetite suppressant. If it hits like 10 p.m, which is why I often get cravings of food, I'll just go, you know what, let me try having a hot chocolate, see how I feel afterwards. And a lot of the times, as long as it's really hot as well, the time it takes to sip it and just kind of slowly have it in your system, I kind of feel kind of done. I don't really feel like eating anything afterwards. So in summary, I would say it's a good deterrent from like eating a whole bunch of crap. So some of the tips in this video, the food itself may not be super low calorie, but it's the fact that it's filling enough or satisfying enough that will stop you from eating more food later on at night, so you won't pig out and eat again literally in like 30 minutes from the time you've had it. So that is one of the biggest things I'll tell you guys. Behind me is a whole bunch of coffees as well. If you want to get decaf, you can try that as well, but personally I prefer the hot chocolate method for at night. I feel like the creaminess of it tastes a lot better and kind of gets you that kind of nighttime vibes. Also, I know you can't see it, but I have a whole bunch of notes which I actually do to make these videos. You guys think I just walk in here and freestyle this stuff. Sometimes I do, but sometimes I like having structures to the videos. So please hit the video with a nice like before I carry on and get to the next thing. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you're brand new. For another addition to the late night Netflix and chill kind of vibes, you can go for, instead of having Ben and Jerry's and a big brownie from like a huge dessert shop, you can go for a Halo Top ice cream. Oh, it's so cold, so cold, so cold. You can go for Halo Top ice cream. Obviously, if you even eat the whole tub, that's what, 360 calories. I wouldn't recommend having the whole tub. I would split it between 2 people. I'll only have half each time, which is 180 calories, which is obviously damn near nothing. And then if you want to make it extra better, you can then add it with chocolate brownie, and obviously heat this up. These stays really good warm. Add to this and it's like having a chocolate brownie with ice cream, which is really tasty and really does satisfy that kind of dessert vibes that many of us get anyway. So I'd highly recommend having that. So for those of you that are pretty bad at maths, if you had one of these heated with half a tub of this, you're looking at around 260 calories. As you can tell, 260 calories is nothing. Like, you could fit that in many times. You could fit that 2 times over. If you felt like having a binge that day and had the whole tub of this and 2 of these, you basically look, you're still under 500 calories. So the whole point is better alternatives of other things. If you went for the actual chocolate fudge brownie dripped with Ben & Jerry's, you're looking at over 1,000 calories easily. So it's a good thing about finding alternatives. The next one we're going to go for is the Rocket Ice Lollies. These ones literally are great just because an ice lolly satisfies 2 things. One, your sweet tooth, but the thing is, because it's ice, if you have them like me, if you actually like wait and have them slowly rather than just... If you're a chomper, it's probably not going to be the solver for you. But for those of you who actually like take your time having an ice lolly, this is a great one because each one is only like 40 calories. It's very satisfying and it really does hit your sweet tooth. So if you feel like having something like sweets, if you just get one of these at the freezer and just, as you're watching TV or whatever, or whatever you're doing at night, have one of these. It is really nice. Obviously it makes you feel cold, which is kind of the opposite of what you probably want in winter, but in general this is still a good option to have when you have like a sweet tooth craving. Alright, next up is an apple. We don't even need to go into deep detail on this. Apples are really filling and they're very low calories. So if you're someone that actually feels hungry at night, not just like peckish, I would actually try having an apple. Even 2 of them, they are really filling and they're high fiber. It's something that I often do if I'm actually hungry. Crunching an apple really can help. Make sure it's nice and cold and crisp as well. Next up on the list is other sweet fruits. They only had blueberries from the ones I like. Obviously you can go for strawberries, blueberries or raspberries. They have no raspberries, they have no strawberries, which is quite annoying. So we're going to go straight having blueberries, which taste pretty damn good themselves. So this one obviously is another one of the things that kills the cravings for Haribos and the actual sweets. I always say Haribos are the go-to sweet. Give me another name of a sweet. I always like downplay Haribos like I hate them when I don't. What's another sweet like that, like jelly sweets? There's another brand, Starburst, Frutella. Does that even exist anymore? I just want to stop saying Haribo repeatedly in the videos. But yeah, if you don't want to have like Frutella, Starburst and those type of sweets but get the kick of sugar in you, go for fruits. There's no need to even go on it too much depth, but people act like fruits are the flipping devil. Fruit toast is gonna kill you. No, it won't. Like if you were gonna eat like a full pack of Starburst but decided to go for fruits instead, what option you think is better for you? So that's something I often have as well. I'll often even have a full pack if I really have that super sweet craving. But all I think about is that what would have been better, having a full pack of that or a full pack of Haribo? Anyway, the last one, which isn't actually in the store, is actually homemade protein smoothie. This one is more if you actually are hungry again. So having a protein smoothie is a best alternative than having, for example, a late night milkshake from McDonald's or whatever milkshake place you normally go to at night. Because those are looking at probably 700, 800, 900 calories plus, depending on what one you have. If it's Oreo, you're probably looking over 800 calories. So when it comes to a homemade protein smoothie, you're looking at probably around 300 calories, depending on what fruits you include. I personally go for frozen strawberries and a tiny piece of banana mixed with a vanilla protein shake. So it depends what ingredients you use, but you still will be under 400 calories for the most part, as long as you don't cram too much things in it. So that would be my recommendation as a good tasty alternative that is filling, really nice and tasty, than having a milkshake. Anyways people, we've actually been here 90 minutes filming this video, so if you're watching this far, please be sure to actually show support, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're brand new, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your cousin, tell your girlfriend's man on the side that you don't know about, tell everybody and their uncles and cousins and subscribe to the channel. Anyways people, like, comment, subscribe, stay getting gains, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Comment down below what video you want to see next. Warmness is... I'm happy that it's your turn to buy shopping, by the way. Oh, you're still rolling?
Make $1 million cash for you flatline. Make a master plan, watch it backfire.